I love a hobby. I am a hobby lover,
Greetings.
the user of all hobbies.
Oh, I love you. Greetings, beautiful beings. I hope you all are drinking water and taking care of yourself. Welcome to another episode of Rooted in Us. I am Fatima Man, and this is
I'm Jeremy Teal, collector of hobbies, with new mic.
welcome to this. Welcome to the session and today's episode. Before we begin, we always just like to invite you to come into the space, into this moment, into your bodies with this gratitude. We are so thankful to everything and all things that have come together for us to be in this space with you today. And we hope that you are rooted in taking care of yourself. You have been doing what you needed to do for you, and you are doing it with love and grace and compassion. I invite you to take deep breaths, inhaling in through your nose, expanding your belly, exhaling out of your mouth, contracting your belly. And with each breath, just giving yourself gratitude because you're awesome. And the world is so much lighter and brighter because you're in it. Thank you for pausing and taking a moment to be in this day with us.
Yeah.
I invite you to take a couple more breaths. All right, so for those of you who do not know, I am Fatima Man with the JD. I am the co-birther and steward of Love and Healing Work, Love and Healing Take Work, and Love and Healing Work. We are a consulting agency. We help people create spaces and policies that do not cause themselves or others harm through being culturally mindful, healing, and human centered. And this is a collaboration with the a wonderful, amazing genius, Jeremy Teal, creative genius, Jeremy Teal, which is also the collector of hobbies. Everyone say hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy. Hi. Wait, okay, it's my turn. Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Jeremy A. Teal. I am today a collector of hobbies, but I am every day the owner, operator, I don't know, chief everything officer of JAT Creative, which essentially just is an excuse for me to get paid to do all the things that I'm really good at: writing, teaching, reading, creating, liking, commenting. It's great. It's essentially a marketing agency. That's really what it is. So that's what I do. And you can find me at Jeremy Atil everywhere. Let's get into it.
I love it. Everyone, everywhere, Jeremy Teal. And those of you listening, there was applause there. When we figure out how to give the applause, it's gonna happen because I feel like you can do that, right? You can
Oh yeah.
hit a button. Marketing genius agency. I like that whole marketing agency thing though. I
I mean
like the
that's
way you said
essentially
that.
what it is. I think that's what I'm a creative agency as far as the IRS is concerned. So
I'm here for
everything
it.
falls underneath it. Like writing and photography and creating marketing plans and being a speaker. It's all consulting or creative agency work.
Yep, I'm here for it. Love you so much. Okay, so as you said, let's get into it.
I said let's get into it because we have two really beefy topics slash conversations that we both want to talk about. I think you're more rearing to talk about the one that we said last. So let's go for that one first. What do you think? Yeah?
I mean, that's how you do me.
Listen, when she finally remembered what the second one was, it's like, ow, and another thing. It's like, oh shit. Okay, well, here we go. Um, I am terrified. So, if you're all wondering what it is emotional intelligence. And we have heard it a lot in the past maybe 3 or 4 years in our conferences and leaderships and summits. And there have been classes and courses and books and all that stuff created about it. And it just seems really fascinating that there's so much information around it and there's so little practice of it. So, Fatima, could you give us a definition for emotional intelligence, maybe, so we can have something to start off with?
Okay, so thank you, Jeremy. I love this. So I'm gonna emotional intelligence has a lot of different definitions, and I don't want to use any of them because
Okay.
I don't want to. The what I would like to replace emotional intelligence with uh, self awareness.
So
When
we're
we
not
are
talking about
when
emotional intelligence. We're talking about self-awareness.
no, because you can't be emotionally intelligent without being self aware. Like they go together. Like you cannot practice emotional intelligence without self awareness. So it's like baking a cake. You can't bake a really good cake without no eggs.
Okay, I'm following.
So because I feel like when we talk about emotional intelligence, it'd be all the way up here, and I want to bring it down here, right? And so a part of being emotional intelligence is self awareness. When one is aware of how they're feeling and the way that their feeling impacts how they engage with themselves and others is how I'm defining emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. We'll get to it.
Okay. So I just want to make sure you got to check for understanding. You can't just go into it. So when people do not practice emotional intelligence, they are not practicing being self aware of how they feel, why they feel that way, and how their feelings are impacting how they engage. And when they are in leadership positions, and leaders, as in people who engage with other people and manage other people, there's an amount of emotional intelligence that I believe and know is required. It shouldn't be required. It just is required. And people don't have those requirements because people aren't having the conversations with those that are emotionally intelligent in leadership positions. They're just letting them out here be like harmful to other people. And they just say, well, the work is good and they help people. So we don't have to address their lack of mindfulness or awareness. We don't have to address how rude they can be because they're in their feelings. We don't have to address how they choose to communicate because they help people. People exchange being human and decent to one another in an emotionally intelligent way for work or production. And that is an issue for me. It isn't like you being productive and meeting a quota means nothing to me if you're a shitty person.
Work. Work. Okay. Well, I don't think we have differing views on this. So I say keep going. I don't. I mean, I believe that. I believe that too. Like, no matter how great you are, if you're a douche, you're a productive douche, but a douche nonetheless. I guess it depends on which one is valued more in the organization that you work for.
Yes, and though people that hurt people, like hurt people that are hurt people, right? Hurt people. So if you are a douchebag, you're usually a douchebag because you're hurting in some way. That's why you're embodying being a douche to others. You're suffering in some way. Having those conversations, people don't want to talk about it, right? So it's just like, oh, we don't say anything, and we continue to allow this person to be in community to cause harm for the sake of productivity. And I think we're in this way in the world where we need to change that. People are like, why do I have to suffer? Like, why do I have to take you beat me upside the head for fill in the blank?
Mm.
And leaders that are not emotionally intelligent aren't willing to hear that. They're not willing to shift and say, oh, I was wrong, or oh, yeah, I was feeling some type of way, or oh, because I was feeling some type of way, I chose to fill in the blank. And so you have people out here hurting people in the name of helping people.
Well, I mean, it sounds like, well, I will say in my experience, that's what I should say. In my experience, it is it was done to me, so I have to do it to you because this is the only way to succeed, or this is the only way to do the thing, depending on where we are, obviously. But in a lot of high stake business, it's not about how you feel. And it, because it really can't be. Like a product is a product, and products don't have feelings, people do. And if products had feelings, Jesus, we would be at the production level, not that we'd be at the R&D collection, we would be researching and developing for the rest of our fucking life. Because it's like, well, what if someone feels this way? Or what if someone feels this way? Well, what, goddamn it, what if the earth imploded tomorrow? It's like, shut up, we gotta go. So someone has to press start. So I get what you're saying. And I guess the experience that I have is if someone values emotions when conversations are being had around business, great. If they don't, it's best, like you said, to be self-aware that, hey, I'm having a day, and don't really give a shit how everybody feels. I want this done quickly. Thank you. That way we can all be on the same page. Like, oh, okay, she's about to try it. Cool, cool, cool. Say what you need to say, sis. Right? Because no one's saying don't have negative emotions or emotions that are unbecoming of a leader. That's not what I think you're saying. What you're saying is to be self-aware, to be aware that you're having a moment, or to be aware that this is really stressful for you. So you are taking your emotions out so you are not stressed out more. I think that's what you're saying. At least that's what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Because I definitely do that all the time. It's like, okay, Jeremy, you're having a moment, but it needs to get done. So let's put this over here. Hey, yo, sis, this is how I'm feeling. At the end of this, I would like for this to happen. If that can't happen, we don't need to work together. Cool. Cool. I mean, because you can then sign up for it or you can exit. But the ultimate is right now, this has to get done. And it doesn't really matter how I feel about it getting done. Because frankly, if it were up to me, we would all stop working. Money would just fall from the sky. We'd be happy, healthy, and have sex every day. Right? Like, but that's just not how it works. Man, sometimes you gotta be an adult.
Yeah, you said it. It's about knowing what you're experiencing in that moment and knowing when to be quiet, put yourself in the corner to say the things. But if you are a leader, like, and again, I'm talking about a particular type of person, and I'm talking about a person and that is in a role that they chose. If you are choosing to wear the crown, heavy is the head.
Sure.
And so what's okay for someone else isn't okay for you because you chose to be a leader. Like you chose this. Nobody made you.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
choosing
You
that
you kept
position,
climbing.
and you get here, but you don't want to work on yourself enough to recognize what's going on for you because people are still people. Triggers happen all the time. I know when I first learned that I was being triggered as a leader and I had to learn to like put myself in a corner. I still put myself in a corner. I don't talk when I talk to people it's because I don't know what to say. And everything I do want to say is disrespectful. So instead of saying the disrespectful thing, you know what I won't do? I won't talk to you today. I can send listen, if there's a task on a task list that needs to get done, I can do that task list, but you don't need to talk to me because
Sure.
I'm aware of how I'm feeling and I know that if I respond, the impact that I'm seeking to have for real in the long end isn't what's gonna happen right now.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
most leaders are being coached on making the numbers meet instead of like how do you build community? How do you make sure people know that they can be here in space with you? How do you grow people? Like, how do you be a human and be the leader? Like, and then you show other people that they can do the same thing because you're like, they're looking to you to lead them. And the
I mean,
fact that
I
people are
believe
just
it's
like,
possible. I just don't believe it's a possibility across the board, right? Like there are just some industries where that won't happen. And I think of industries that essentially exploit resources and people in order to create immense wealth. Emotions and immense wealth don't go together. That's just not how it happens. Like, you don't become a billionaire without putting somebody 30 feet under the ground. Like, and you are well aware that someone is suffering because of your billions or millions, or hell, sometimes even in the hundreds of thousands. Like, you could be a six-figure bitch and definitely be standing on top of, yeah, 6, 7 bodies. And you know for a fact that they're right there. You are emotionally aware, you are physically aware, and you are ignoring it. Because in some industries, that's just how it is. I mean, I guess that's just, I guess I've accepted that, and I try not to work in those industries, but I would get to a point where probably will take a check from one of them. I'm not gonna lie. Damn it.
But industries are made out of people. And I think that we forget that, right? Like, yes, what you're saying is true, but industries are made from people, and everything that begins ends. And so, if that mentality started somewhere, it could end as well. I'm not saying that it ends in like this sweeping way, but I do think when you start planting seeds in the people within these really strict industries of, hey, you're a person just like that other person is a person, and all that matters. Like, you can't put someone's personhood outside and think it doesn't impact how they work. That doesn't it just it hasn't been logically proven to be true yet. And I feel like they've been trying. And so honoring that in a way that, yes, I don't think industries will change overnight because people don't change overnight. These industries are just humans. And it's getting the humans to, it's not even getting them to do anything, it's putting information out there and seeing where humans decide to be because it's all free will, right? It's like, hey, you can stay on this side, but doesn't mean everybody in that industry wants to stay there. And so it's for the people who don't choose to stay there. That's who I'm for. And then there's going to be the people who choose to stay there, and I'm just not for them.
I think that's very fair. Well, I will say you brought this up with a very specific example of feedback. So what's that? Like, what are you talking about when you say emotional intelligence and, well, I guess self-awareness that goes into emotional intelligence that is possibly practiced through feedback?
So I didn't know that this was something I was being taught to do. But when I worked at Apple, I was trained to give feedback up. Like, you were supposed to give your peers feedback if you saw something on the floor, just help, like, aiding them shift the experience. And we're not saying it was good or bad; it just shift the experience. And so, giving feedback was something that I thought was in every professional setting because I'm doing it at Apple. I'm doing it at a store, right? This is retail. And I am telling my manager things and my manager is receiving them. I thought that, like, if we're doing it in a retail store, you do that everywhere, right? Duh. No, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Managers don't like feedback. Not only don't managers like feedback, managers are people, and people don't like feedback. And people that are triggered really don't like feedback. If you are in a triggered state and then receive feedback, you're more than likely going to go into one of the things, the fight, flight, freeze response. One of them are going to happen, and it could be a lot of them at the same time. But I recognized through my own experience that someone was triggered, and because they were triggered, they no feedback could be heard or given. And then their response was a response that was like, oh, so there's no emotional intelligence here. And people in the community are aware of that, and everybody is cool with it, and they just keep working with you. And
Yeah.
it was normal. It's normal. It's not that this isn't the first scenario where I've seen someone who doesn't have emotional intelligence and is a leader and in the community, and people are just like, yeah, that's just who they are. But look at the work they do. Yeah, I'm good.
What?
I'm going this way. Because what? And there's no invoice, right?
You say, and
We're
there's
not
no
just talking about,
invoice?
and there's no invoice. You don't want to pay an invoice. So
Oh,
not
got it.
only are
There's
you
no
a
like,
leader, with no emotional intelligence, you don't want to pay people to deal with your foolishness.
Well, then my question: are you really a leader? Or are you just the loudest person in the room, and people just let you be loud? Because I always think of leaders as people who have a team of people that are kind of equitably involved. You just happen to be the head, like you're like the spokesperson, but you're not really in charge. Everybody's in charge. You're just the person who's going to take the fall, if that makes any sense. But if everybody around you is a pawn that you can just use and talk to however you want to, and they just let you because they're happy to be in your aura or whatever the fuck it is, or maybe on your coattails to achieve a goal that they feel like they want to achieve, then you're not really a leader. You're kind of a bully. Then that's definitely not fun if you're not getting paid. Like, I mean, you can at least pay a bitch to be mean to me. But if you're not paying me, then girl, fuck you. Just absolutely not. You know how many things I walked out of when people started acting stupid? I don't even want to have a conversation no more. You got it. You got it. It's on you. I've quit 2 organizations this year for those very reasons. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I absolutely hear what you're saying. Now, I would like to add to the feedback thing, though, that feedback or getting the opinions of your peers, coworkers, friends, whatever, um, you do definitely have to set it up right. Yeah, to giving unsolicited feedback is hard for a lot of people. Even those who are the most self-aware, if you just come at them sideways with this is like, oh, you should improve this. It's like, well, first of all, I'm having a wonderful day. Happy to see you too. Yeah, the sun is shining, birds are chirping, got a good parking spot today. Love that. Love that. Now, what? Like, I didn't ask for this. I was in a whole nother zone, and here you come essentially critiquing work or myself or whatever, and I'm in another headspace. So yeah, that could be very jarring to do unsolicited feedback. So I guess that's my caveat to people who are even giving it to others. You gotta ask because it might not be the right time. That's you being self-aware of your surroundings and the people that you're working with. If you know Mary always stressed out between 8 and 10 a.m. because she didn't drop them kids off at school, she ain't had her coffee yet. The baby, she ain't even switched into her goddamn sneakers today. Okay, she wore a heel in, she ain't switched, she ain't had no food. She's stressed out. Okay, leave Mary alone until about 1 o'clock. Okay, you just have to know. And then you ask, hey, yo, Mary, girl, I saw the report. It was fabulous. I have a point of feedback. I'm curious if you are in the mood because I have something I feel like it's going to just make it that much better. Mary might very well say, go on, fool, what is it? But you can't just leave bitch a note on her desk and be like, sign Jeremy, do better. What? No. At 8 o'clock in the morning. And Mary is liable to shoot that bitch up. Okay, because today could be the goddamn day. Today could be the motherfucking day. Shit. Sorry, I had to put that in there. It is really important to me to ask for permission. You and I do it to each other all the time. It's like, friend, may I add something to that? And sometimes the answer is no. I am not. I don't have enough. I can't. Send it to me later.
No, yeah, yes, absolutely. And thank you for adding that. Consent is important. Getting people to consent, and that was a part of the feedback. Like we would have to ask, is this a good time? Like, do you have capacity? Like our version of checking in to see if it's a good time to even give that feedback, right? Like asking the question and not just diving in. So absolutely, because I think that that's another thing people don't do. They just start talking to you and they get mad when you give them the response you got. It's like, but why though? Like you didn't even ask me nothing. Like you asked me that one thing. So you didn't even know if I wanted to even have this conversation with you right now. Because if you asked me, I probably would have told you no. And you're getting the response as if I would have told you no, aren't you? So
Next time
yeah.
ask. Next time ask.
All the way. 1,000%. 1,000%. And I just think that's important. Asking questions, It's a part of having emotional intelligence. You're just not out here doing stuff. Like everybody isn't down for everything, and you don't know what people experiences are. So having that awareness to say, hey, let me ask or be in a way that isn't not, I wouldn't say confrontational, but is as neutral as possible. That's what I like to say. I like to use neutral language. I like to use neutral gestures. I like to be as neutral as I possibly can because I don't want to trigger people. Like people are going to be triggered, but if I could stay neutral and be in a neutral space, then that could help with the triggers because I don't have to be out here in the streets all the time.
Well, you want to be able to replay it back and be like, yeah, 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 that was good. That was good. That was good. I'm not going to be dinged for saying I'm not going to be dinged for have done anything or having did anything or said anything that would not kind of hold up in an HR feedback session. It was like, did you say this? It's like, I did say that. Okay, cool. And then, it's in the context of the work you're doing. It's not out of pocket. You did ask for consent. You did get the consent. You were as pleasant as you could be with the feedback you gave. And you don't expect it to be implemented either. Like, just because you give someone feedback, okay, they don't have to take it. You just give it to them. And I don't take a lot of feedback. And I do, this is a really good point because I think it'll take us into our kind of second conversation is I don't always take everyone's opinions and feedback and ideas too deeply, and I don't always implement them because it's generally not the goal of what I was trying to do in the first place. So, for instance, if I'm creating a workshop and like for instance, you and I do workshops differently. You do the groundings and the wonderful ways of getting people into their body and breathing and all that great stuff. I don't do that. I tend to assume that when people show up, they are already grounded and good to go. So we started off with an introduction of who I am, an acknowledgement that this is what we're going to talk about. Is that okay? And then we go right into it. But just because we work differently doesn't mean you can't say, "Hey, Jeremy, this would be a really good time for you to pause and just give people a second." And if I feel like that is where it is, I'll take that feedback and I will implement it. And if I don't, I won't. And there will be no harm done. Like there's no harm done in not implementing what people feel should be done. It's okay, right? And if you give the feedback or the advice under the guise of you should do this or else it will suck, or if you're giving the feedback in a negative light, then please just don't give anybody any fucking feedback, bitch. Like, do it your fucking self then. How about that? You want it done so damn bad, you go do it. But you can't do it because I do this, you do that. That is how this works. I'm sorry, I was going to segue us into our second topic, but I feel like you have another piece on top of this. Now,
I agree with everything that you're saying, and I was just going to add, this is one of the things that we do with Loving Healing Work is we help people figure out what that is for themselves. Like where's your line? Like what does that look like? How do you engage with people? How do you get feedback? How do you really have emotional intelligence? Like what does it look like to not just be out here in these streets leading and causing harm? Because it's a practice to be aware and of how you feel, because how you feel is real and you bring that feeling into your workspace and people around you. And especially if you are leading, people are looking to you for everything, like all the time. And that is one of the best worst things about being a leader is like you can't do what everybody else do. Like it's just not a thing. So yes, Loving Healing Work, we aid people in figuring out what does it look like to do their great work without causing themselves or others harm.
And we love to see it. We love to see it. So this goes into our second half of our conversation, which is the idea of scarcity mindsets. And in to tie it into the emotional intelligence and self-awareness thing, I think people are convinced if they don't say something right now, that there will never be another time that they can say something. And that is, in my mind, uh, a reflection of scarcity mindset. Like you don't have enough time, or there won't be another opportunity, or I just can't wait. There won't be there, it just will never happen. I gotta say it right now. Instead of letting something play the fuck out. Like let it play out. Sometimes if you just let something play out, it'll fix itself. It's Humans have been humaning for a very long time, and a lot of our problems are self-made. They truly are. Some of the And especially with new things, like if you create something that is new, well then of course there's going to be some fucking problems. It's never been done before. We've got to figure out how humans can do this thing that you've created. So every time we hit a snag, it's like we got to go back to the drawing board. No bitch, we don't. Actually, we just got to keep pushing forward and trying new shit in the in under the guise of everything is possible, anything is doable, let's keep going. Not let's stop here. We don't have enough resources. We've got to do what we can with what we got. No, bitch, you in the wrong world. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to work with a scarcity mindset. You mean to tell me that between whenever this shit started to whenever it's going to end, that it ain't just all possible? It is. It just is. I don't know how to explain that. So I'm thinking about it in time, but the reason it got brought up is because there's a lot of incredibly sensational news right now, and everyone is convinced the world is burning. Like it's just burning down. It's like, well, girl, it's been burning. This bitch been on fire since forever, really. Because people have been at war forever. There have been wars being fought this entire time. We just didn't see it on the news. Like people been at each other's throats every day since the dawn of humanity. It's just they're tiny little wars, and my say tiny, I mean they might be secret wars or wars that are happening on the internet. And there could be full-on battles where people are like dropping bombs on people. We just aren't always aware because it's a planet and you can't see everything that happens on the whole planet. So the scarcity thing of like, there's never going to be another time of peace. Incorrect. Incorrect. There's currently times of peace in several places. You just involving yourself in other people's shit. Sometimes you need to focus on what's in front of you, okay, and what is abundant to you. And right now, it is the ability to mind your motherfucking business. Mind your motherfucking business. You got plenty to focus on. You got plenty to focus on. What are your thoughts on the scarcity mindset, Fatima?
I just want to simmer in this a little bit. Like we just said a whole word, friend.
It felt like preaching. That's why I stopped talking.
It was great. It was good. It was necessary. I Yes to that. I just want to bake in that a little bit. Simmer, stew,
Simmer, bake.
marinate.
I often get in trouble with associates and friends and sometimes family because I just don't have an opinion on everything. And it's like, well, how do you feel about this? It's like, well, I don't, because well, it ain't got nothing to do with me. It's like, well, it does eventually. Well, yeah, in like 16 steps. Like if all of these steps happen, then I could also be probably the king of England. But that got shit to do with me. Like, what do you mean? Like, I am focusing on things that are 1 to 3 steps away from me, and I'm talking immediate 1 to 3. If it could happen within 3 steps of two other bullshits happening, it's like, oh shit, it's happening. Cool, I can pay attention to that. But wars in other countries, or this tech company is mad at this tech company, or this celebrity doesn't want to talk to them. Great, that's wonderful. Um, what are y'all eating for dinner tonight? Because I'm having chicken and vegetables, and I'm gonna watch a little YouTube. Love that. I don't care.
Yeah, I feel the same exact way. I don't, I feel the same exact way. Like I am all about the infinite possibilities of things. And yes, this one thing is happening and these other things could happen at the same time. Like this is not the end. Like, and if it is the end, it's the end as we know it, but doesn't mean that it's not the end. Like, you know, like there's like something
Right.
else isn't gonna happen. There's always something gonna happen. We may or may not be here for it, but either way, something's gonna happen. So how am I setting myself up for the thing that's happening in my world? Like I I mean, so for me, the scarcity mindset is like it negates the anything is possible. It's like if I'm thinking of all the terrible things or all the things I don't have or all the things that I don't want to happen, I'm not thinking about all the things I do want to happen. I'm not thinking about the infinite possibility of things that I do want to happen. I'm not imagining them happening because I'm so in this Debbie Downer, whatever. I don't, scarcity mindset to me is a Debbie Downer. Like I don't need it. For what? Like not having is a possibility. Yes. Have I not had? Yes. But have I had? Yes. And so it's like I know abundance in ways that people who have millions of dollars would never know because I know love and I know trust and I know care. And so this idea of not having, it's like, what is it that we're talking about not having? And what is the thing that's important? Because there's some things that I don't care about. They're not important to me. And I don't have to care about it. And they don't have to be important to me. And I don't want to have to know. Do I know, like you said, people are dying every day. Every day people are dying that never died before.
Sure.
And also my reality is kind of awesome and I'm thankful for it. So am I gonna be like, oh, poor is me because people are dying every day and never died before? Or can I hold both and being in this reality? And to me, the scarcity mindset doesn't allow both. It usually allows only for you to think of what you don't have and what you don't want to happen. It never really gives you the space to think about all the things you do have and all the things you want to happen.
I truly, yes, word. I truly do believe that whatever was taught to us as we started to consume media more and more, and not just media, the news, all media, mediums, art, literature, uh, digital things, honestly, sometimes even the furniture we sit on. Like, it's just however we have been influenced these past so many years has truly it's opened our brains a little too much to where we think we have to have our head on a 360 swivel to be focused on everything. It's like we don't. We actually do not. We'd be way more productive if we focused in about that 180 range. It's not to say what's happening behind you isn't important, but it's behind you for a reason, right? There's a reason why we don't have eyes in the back of our heads because we don't need them. We just don't. We don't need eyes in the back of our heads. We can set ourselves up to know that if we walk in a straight line, whatever we already walked past, it's back there. It's not going anywhere. And if it decides to fall on my head, guess what? I'll be dead. It'll be done. It's over. Yeah. You can't do anything about it. Like, okay, you see the building falling on you. You're going to stop the building? What you going to do? Girl, just keep moving. So I do think that people need this. I mean, it sounds crazy. It might be a hot take. Bring your scope in a little tighter, just a little tighter. And when you can feel yourself getting outraged about something that you can't do shit about, that's when you let it go. It's like, you know what? I can't really do anything about that. I will vote for the people that are on the ballot. I will give my money to organizations that I like, care about, can afford to give to. I will live as a good steward to this planet the best I can. I will be kind to people. I will be kind to myself. I mean, those feel like pretty solid tenets to me. That's pretty good. Like, that's pretty good. And that's plenty to focus on. That's plenty to focus on. I mean, honestly, nourishing yourself mentally and physically is a whole fucking job. Okay, anyone says remembering to drink the water or being reminded 15 times a week by your friend Fatima, making sure that your household is in order. And by in order, bills are being paid, the house doesn't look a mess, it doesn't smell weird, you don't have cockroaches, shit like that. Don't add a car or children, and then you got work and school and neighbors and white people. It's too much. It's too much. There's plenty to focus on, babes. You don't need to be worried about what's happening in Baghdad. I'm not saying it don't matter. It does in the long term, but for the people that are in that, they are in that. We are black asses. My big black Texas ass. I'm over here trying to figure out where I'm gonna be able to vote next year once they've decided to change the districts. But honestly, the people I voted for just didn't win the vote. So I'm kind of fucked until I can get the right people back in that bitch to reverse it. Not gonna stress about it. I won't eat my chicken and vegetables. My friend brought me some peanut brittle. I'm gonna have a 2 or 3 pieces of that. I'm gonna watch my YouTube while the internet is still, not government funded. Yeah, like I'm just gotta focus. Gotta focus. The police state that is the United States of America. My goodness.
I
That was a
love
lot.
you.
I know that was a lot, but I'm
I
just
love
saying
you.
it's what keeps my
No,
brain from exploding.
no, so you said it in a really great way because I tend to give people a hard time. I have to work on it. I'm still a little judgy. But like people who are so into what's happening internationally or nationally, but can't tell me the statistics of what's going on in their own cities. It's like when you are talking to me about what's going on in all these other wars, but you're not talking about the black and brown people that are incarcerated in your own town. Like you're not talking about the people who don't have homes that are in your own town, the children that are there's how many thousands of children that are missing since COVID that nobody knows where these little humans are. We're not talking about that. So like to me, and again, I'm still being worked on, a little judgy. If you're not talking to me about these things and you don't have any connections to those countries, so like you don't know nobody, like nobody knows nobody over there, like nobody knows nobody that's over there, right? And you over here spitting out facts about all these people over there and none of those things that I just mentioned, yeah, you can miss me. I'm not like we're not even talking, we're not talking the same thing. We're not about the same because you're so caught up on everything and everybody else, but you're not concerned about what's going on in your own neighborhood. You can't tell me who your city council person is. You can't tell me if you voted for your city council person. If you have a city council person, you don't even know where city council is. But again, you want to talk to me about another country, another place that you ain't never been?
Yes,
I
miss me. Like, please miss me. First thing that comes out of your mouth is, I can't believe what, insert person's name did. And it's like, first of all, who is that? Second of all, because I don't know who, actually, I do know my district count, because it's not city council here. It is city council, but they do it in weird districts here in Houston. It's like letters and not numbers. I forget her name, white chick. Seems nice. Mary? Whatever. She's cool. I get her emails. She's fabulous. All that to say, I at least have access to them and I know what she's doing and I understand kind of what her policies are and she's up to date on what's happening with the roads and shit. Cool, great, wonderful. I couldn't tell you the name of one street in a lot of, actually, any country. I can tell you all the streets here, though. Well, at least the ones I know. You know what I mean? So I hear what you're saying. Like, you're so worried about, because people are worried. Like, they are stressed about these things. So much so that some of them are flying their asses over there or to there or getting involved in it. And all that energy is not being spent on what you just said could be done locally or honestly personally. Like, girl, you are full on homeless. Like, what are you talking about? You're like full on homeless, but you figured out a way to get a plane ticket to middle of nowhere, South America to help who? Okay. You didn't want to help the 3 bitches down the street that just need some lunch money? Doesn't seem that hard to me, but that's just who I am as a person.
I
So
just
there we
have an
go.
eye roll, child.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of went off the idea of scarcity mindset into that is it negates this idea of yeah, there's a lot out there, but it ain't all for you to worry about. It just ain't. And I guess in the mindset thing, it's like you just have to be aware that any and all things are possible. And what you set your sights on are the things you will have, I guess. You could have. I don't know if I've closed that loop, but something tells me there was a third topic that we just came up with, and we'll let some person analyze this later on after we're dead and gone. Thank you. Thank you so much, researcher.
What you're saying though, and how it's like the scarcity mindset of thinking that the world is gloom and doom. That's a scarcity mindset, and all we have is this short amount of time to do all of these things. It's like, but we don't. And time is a man-made construct, and things will happen. But we get to choose what we do in each moment, and what we choose in each moment doesn't have to be doom and gloom. It doesn't have to be based off of things that we really have no control over. And knowing that the abundance mindset is what I'm doing over here is going to be it's enough. Like I may not be able to fly across the country, but I can work with an organization in this country that's helping this people who are losing their mothers and children, right? Because that's happening here. So it's the I think that's the abundance. The scarcity mindset is I have to go somewhere else to fix it. That thing. The abundance mindset is no, there's abundance of spaces that could use me right here. Like how many states do you have to cross before you leave the country that you could have stopped in to see and to help and to do something with someone, right?
Yeah.
So I think it applies. Well, I know it applies. The idea that we don't have to be caught up in all the woes of the world. We can also be caught up in the beauties and wonders of it.
And put yourself in the position to be helpful where you feel comfortable. Don't be bullied into helping just because it feels like a popular idea or people are, everyone's talking about it. That's great. Everyone talks about everything. You know why? Because everybody's everywhere all the fucking time. People are going to be talking about everything. That's just how that works. What are you listening to is the question. What are you applying your skills, your genius, your energy, I guess one would say? What are you applying that to? I'd say if it's more than half to yourself, you're doing it wrong. Like that's crazy. That that's insane. That's absolutely insane. The only person that gets to do the thing that you do with you is you. So focus on you and what you can do, and give out a little bit here and there to the girls, just a little bit, not all the time. Sometimes, fuck them bitches. I decided not to go to Houston. Not Houston. I was supposed to travel to Austin this weekend, and was like going through my schedule and trying to figure out, um, oh, well, if I leave this at this time and I can make it to this, if I leave this, I can make it to this. That means I got to drive in here. Okay. Oh crap! But then I have to wake up the next day. So I'm going through all this, and I just started thinking about the people that I'm making this trip for, and the organizations that I'm making this trip for, and the just like what has been looped back in return for all this thought? And the answer was not a motherfucking thing. Like literally not one thing. The only thing that I was the most looking forward to was hanging out with a set of my friends. But I can see them motherfuckers whenever I want. Like I could go right now and hang out with them. I don't have to wait for the weekend. So, or for a particular event. But the rest of those people, organizations, and things, I ain't talked to them people. Them folks ain't. They didn't come to my show in July. They didn't come to my show in April. I ain't got an email. Who shot John? Where he at? Nothing. Not a motherfucking thing. And here I am trying to change my whole existence to be hanging out, girl. The way I canceled all that shit and gave away them tickets, sure did. Because I mean, at that point, it was just money, and my time was just way more valuable. I'd rather be here at my house with my husband. One of my best friends is coming to Houston anyway for the weekend, so I would sooner have more joy walking around TJ Maxx looking at shit I'm not go buy with him than being out fucking around with them folks. More fun. My abundance is that. That's my abundance. It's not doom and gloom. It's just putting myself back into what's going to bring me joy, what's actually right in front of me that I can grab that. Look at me. Was that my wait? It says here, was that my rooted reflection?
Yes.
Mm. What is your rooted reflection today, Fatima? What do you have for the people?
There's power in knowing how you feel, and that how you feel will impact you. And it's okay to be impacted by how you feel. It's not okay to take out how you feel on other stuff. So honoring your feelings, yes. Taking your feelings out on others, absolutely not. And knowing that it's a practice. It's a practice to pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? And do I have the capacity to be around other people feeling this way? And if the answer is no, it's a no. Allow it to be a no. Respect your own no. If you are telling yourself no, it's for a reason. Allow yourself to experience that no and experience it without shame or guilt or fear. It's your no. And you are entitled to know. So say no more and know that your no's can cause you peace and also not harm other people because you're going against yourself and your no. So that's my rooted reflection today.
I just love it. I just love it. Well, Fatima, could you tell the people how they can get a hold of you and yeah, any other little rapidies?
Yes, so I'm at Love and Healing Work on everything, linked in Linktree, YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, as well as all the social medias, Instagram and Facebook, and the TikTok. Also, we have monthly sessions, so we're offering people sessions for breathing and grounding. These are just 2 sessions a week for 15 minutes, and I will ground you and provide you with affirmations. And that is only 111 a month. So you get to engage with me twice a week, 4 weeks for only 111. And I'm pretty sure you all pay more for that in your coffees a month. So you can connect with me and learn more on the link tree. So love you. How about
Coffee
you,
is so
Jeremy? Where can
expensive.
they find you?
I didn't realize coffee was so expensive. It is so expensive. And apparently it's an expensive thing. Like to buy coffee, like wholesale, is really expensive. I had no idea. Where can people find me? Hi, yeah, Jeremy A. Teal on all platforms. The ones I use the most, though, are Instagram and Facebook. But really, I'm an Instagram girly. It's just who I am. I haven't really gotten to the TikToks. I haven't really gotten to X. It's those, they just move too fast and I get addicted to watching the videos that have nothing to do with me. So I try and stay off of them. Again, focus, bitch. Focus. Uh, JeremyATL.com is under construction, so you can't go to it, but you can go to JeremyATL.com/unburden to buy my debut publication, Unburden, a visual and written reflection on Black rest, a gorgeous book of poetry and portraits showing that Black men can rest, and well, it's kind of hot. You're welcome. That's all I got for the day. You got anything?
No, drink water and take care of yourselves. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.